If you think the Ninja Turtles are a shocking animal mutation, here are 9 real-life mutations that will definitely prove that fact can be stranger than fiction. Number 9. Sarka's Kid. As we all know, your average goat has 4 legs. But back in 2014, a goat was born with 8 legs on a farm in northeast Croatia. The owner's name is Zoran Paparic, whose mother goat named Sarka gave birth to this octogoat. It is believed that this goat merged with its twin while in the womb. One was a boy and another a girl, so the goat not only has 8 legs, but both male and female reproductive organs. The Siamese goats had 2 healthy siblings that were born the same night. When the owner saw the octogoat, he said, "I counted his legs and I thought I was seeing things. Then I called my neighbor to make sure that I'm not crazy." The media hasn't followed up with Zoran, so we do not know if the kid survived or not. Vets predicted that he would not live long due to his deformity, that he would either be too weak to live or the mother would reject him. But we are still unsure, so all we can do is hope that the adorable little octogoat has found a way to live life with 8 legs. Number 8. Froggy. 10 years before Octogoat was born, an interesting frog known as Froggy made his debut. Froggy, a 3-headed, 6-legged mutant frog, was discovered in the garden of Seaside Resort's Green Umbrella Nursery. The kids were amazed when a staff member presented him to the class, ages 3 to 4, and decided to name him Froggy. Of course, what else are they going to call him? They only had the frog for 1 day before he escaped, but within that time he had attracted children and parents of all kinds. It is believed the mutation was caused by a genetic defect or pollution of the waters he was born in. Many even shunned the idea that it was a real thing, believing that it was simply 3 frogs stacked on top of each other. Still, the mutation pictured is very extreme and very unusual. It's a shame that scientists couldn't get a hold of it before he hopped away. But then again, there would have been some very disappointed children if that were the case. Children and adults alike are still asking questions such as how does it eat and how many organs does it have? But unfortunately, it looks like we'll never know. Nor will we know if the staff misinterpreted this frog and it really was 3 very close amphibians. Number 7. Wee. This mutant may be the scariest of them all. Its name is Wee, and it is a 2-headed albino snake. The snake joined those at the World Aquarium in St. Louis in 1999 when he was no bigger than a pencil. They paid $15,000, even though they knew that mutated animals such as Wee rarely live long. But it looks like their high hopes paid off because the snake lived to be 8 years old and became the main attraction at the World Aquarium. Wee, at 5 feet long, died in 2007 of natural causes. People from all around mourned the loss, for it was a daily occurrence for people to walk in and ask to see Wee. The only thing to see now is a taxidermist-prepared body of the snake, which is not quite the same thing. Children especially like to see Wee attempt to move in different directions because since it had 2 heads and 2 brains, there was a struggle for which side could make the decisions. Could you imagine having an argument with yourself? That just sounds like a lose-lose situation. Its gender confusion was the reason for its name, as it didn't feel right calling Wee a he or a she since it was both. Wee appeared on shows such as Live with Regis and Kelly and attracted over 1 million visitors in his lifetime, or Wee's lifetime. Number 6. Flying cats. So maybe cats can't fly, but there have been multiple instances in which they were born with real wings. There are 3 different likely causes of wing-like appendages in cats. Of course, matted fur is one, when the fur binds together and sticks up, but this is not really a mutation. The second cause is a condition called feline cutaneous asthenia. It can occur on the shoulders, haunches, or back. The cats can move these growths just like a bird can move its wings. Weird, huh? The third cause is a mutation of supernumerary limbs. These growths are non-functioning and often resemble wings. Whatever the cause, over the years, more than 138 cats have been reported to have wings. There are over 30 documented cases, 20 photographs, and 1 video. The first recorded report was from the 1800s, and the person tells us that a few years before I lived in the woods, there was what was called a winged cat in one of the farmhouses. She was of a dark brownish gray color with a white spot on her throat and white feet, and had a large bushy tail like a fox. That in the winter the fur grew thick and flattened out along her sides, forming strips 10 or 12 inches long by 2.5 wide, and in the spring these appendages dropped off. They gave me a pair of her wings, which I keep still. You heard that right. The person liked the wings so much that they kept them. One of the most popular of this century happened in 2011 in Tatarstan and another in China. Since then, countless stories, photos, and videos have been shared with the world. Some can be explained, some cannot. Number 5. Biosteel goats. These goats are actually scientifically mutated and have their very own profitable company. Why? Well, researchers from the University of Wyoming have found a way to safely allow goats to produce milk with spider silk. This milk can be used to create material 10 times stronger than steel. It is called biosteel and is used for creating artificial ligaments and tendons, eye sutures, jaw repair, bulletproof vests, and improved car airbags. Though, since they are genetically mutated, less than half of the candidates end up with this milk. Despite the mutation, the goats live as any other goats do without any negative effects, apparently. Next on the scientists' list is to incorporate the milk and silk into alfalfa plants for the ability to produce even more biosteel. If everything goes well, these studies could lead to the production of a material that would be saving money, time, effort, and even lives. This sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie and has all kinds of moral and ethical implications. Number 4. Clyde. Kittens are adorable creatures that have been the focus of many internet obsessions. Back in 2012, a very special kitten was born. Clyde, the one-eyed kitten, didn't have a long life, but made a big impact on its owners along with the world. The owner, who witnessed the birth, posted a video on YouTube explaining the phenomena of the Cyclops kitten. All of us in the operating room experienced a very rare, once-in-a-lifetime kitten birth, the owner says. To start off, both horns of the uterus were twisted together 3 times. After untwisting the horns, our veterinarian started the surgery and she removed the first baby. The baby was handed to me, and I started drying her off. He was born alive but died shortly after. Wow, he floored me. I was in shock as I've only seen a picture of a Cyclops kitten like this once ever, and that was on the internet, the description of the video says. This was a horribly sad experience, but very intriguing to us all. The reason for deaths in those suffering from cyclopia is that the animal is born without a nose and an adequate mouth, which obstructs airflow and causes suffocation shortly after birth. Number 3. The monkey pig. Strangely enough, the case of mutated pigs is not unique to only one individual, but has actually been seen on multiple occasions. One was born in China a couple of years ago and was described as having 2 holes as the nose and an overbite that leaves its long tongue protruding from its mouth, along with 2 eyes of different sizes. Its odd mouth would not allow it to eat on its own, so it was fed by owners away from the litter. Another that became an internet sensation was born in Ciego de Avila in central Cuba. Locals were fascinated to see the face of a monkey naturally plastered on the pig's body, and he soon became a star in Ciego de Avila. Sadly, this one died just 4 days after being born. These mutant pigs are likely the result of environmental pollution, with many environmentalists warning that we could soon be next. They encourage everyone to take action and attempt to stop pollution altogether. Number 2. The two-faced cat. You may know Venus, the majestically beautiful two-faced cat whose face is both orange and black, split exactly down the middle. But did you know that there is an even more shocking two-faced cat famous before Venus? His name was Frankie and Louie, or often Frankenlouie, and he was born in 1999. His owner decided to make the most out of the cat's life and brought him to Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine at Tufts University to be examined. A nurse took him home to take care of him to try and give him the best short life possible. She fed him through a straw, but before long, Frank and Louie began to feed himself. The cat had 1 brain, 1 throat, 2 faces, 2 mouths, the only one working, 2 noses, and 3 blue eyes. One of those eyes did not blink or function, which likely gave him the name Frankenlouie for the fright it could give you. In 2012, he took a place in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest living Janus, or two-faced cat. He lived 2 years past that and died in 2014 at 15 years old. Even more astonishing was that his death was by euthanasia at the vet due to an aggressive cancer. Number 1. Stumpy. Have you ever seen a four-legged duck? Stumpy was kept in a pen at Warrawee Duck Farm in the New Forest, Hampshire, as his owner feared his extra limbs may get caught in brambles. He spent a good part of his life there, but sometime after babyhood, Stumpy got one of his spare limbs caught in a fence surrounding his pen and had to have it amputated, just as his owner had feared. Then, at 14 months old, Stumpy's third leg turned black and fell off. Today, he roams the farm with his longtime girlfriend Alice, just like any other duck. Vets say Stumpy is one lucky duck, for most born with this mutation rarely live more than a few days.